Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Shane Shallenberger, head baseball coach at Cleveland High School. And Shane, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
I tell you, I haven't had you on, and you've been coaching for many years, and you know how the media is. You start winning, and everybody's your best friend.
It's been a little busy lately, that's for sure.
But you and I go back. We've had some good, we've golfed together, and we've had some great talks. And before we even start, I just, good friend of mine, Randy Adrian. I speak on his behalf. I mean, he's the one that got you your start.
Yeah, he gave me my very first head coaching job in Clovis, and it didn't start out that way. I actually applied for an assistant job, and then as I was making the move, the head job, that coach, whoever it was, left. And Randy gave me a phone call and told me they don't need me as an assistant no more. So I thought I was fired before I even got there. And he paused for probably 5 seconds, which felt like 5 minutes. But anyway, he said, well, now we're going to hire you as the head coach if you'll accept it. So that's kind of how I got my first head coaching job. So forever grateful for Randy Adrian giving me my first opportunity.
Well, that purple and blue, purple and white is it'll haunt you forever. And then you and I met when we came up. You came up to Albuquerque, and I've got to golf with you a couple times, and it's been fun just to be able to chat and talk with you and talk about your teams. Well, this year's, we talked about it before, but a team that you thought was going to be good, but did you realize they were going to be this good?
Well, I didn't know. You never think you're going to be undefeated 18 games into the year or whatnot. But I felt like we'd have a good team. I felt like it would take a little time to possibly get to where we want to be this year. But we kind of just started off hot, and they kind of stayed there. And so no, I mean, you never dream of being where you're at this exact moment. But like I said, I felt like we were going to be pretty good. I just didn't know how good and or where we would end up being by this time, of course. So.
And I looked at your schedule, and it's. I think you're doing it with both. You're doing it with pitching and hitting. I mean, and that's remarkable. When you have both of those, it seems like you're always in a game if you have those two elements.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really, really, really. I couldn't ask for more out of our pitching staff at this moment. They've done a phenomenal job for us. Especially coming off kind of a rough fall for us. We didn't exactly do what we thought we would do. So they're more than exceeding expectations on that side. And then our lineup, I mean, there's times that we're not hitting as well, maybe here or there, but man, when they've hit well 1 through 9, we're really tough. It's a really, really tough lineup. But yeah, if you can have both, you definitely have a chance to win some games.
Well, and this year, I mean, you've played some top teams. I mean, well, first of all, your district. Let's just speak on that, and I couldn't have had any better timing. What a bigger game today! It's the game right now for the season, right?
I mean, at the moment, yeah.
Yes.
But our district's obviously tough, and the latest, obviously rankings, 1, 2, and 3 are in our district, and so yeah, we're playing the number 2, today, and PV's tough. They're 17-1, very good team, very well coached. They know how to play baseball. It's going to be a tough one today for sure.
Well, I was concerned last night. It looked like the weather might be raining or whatever, and it seemed like it's kind of going to be a nice day. So hopefully that won't be a detriment to the game today.
I hope not, man. It's been last week on our spring break. It was cold all week, so it wasn't real fun. So hopefully we'll have a decent day of weather today. But yeah, that'd be nice.
And speak about Pedro Vista a little bit today. I mean, they've lost one game, and if I'm correct, they lost to a team in Colorado. And you always think of baseball, you think of Farmington. I mean, it's been well known in the history of New Mexico as Farmington always has good baseball.
Absolutely. I mean, I actually think they lost to a team out of Oregon.
Oregon, yes, that's right. Yeah.
They're very similar to us. I feel they got good pitching, kind of similar to what we have, a lefty. They got some righties, and their lineup battles 1 through 9 as well. I feel like they're very similar to us. I feel like that's a game that a mistake can win the game type of a deal. But as far as Farmington baseball, yeah, there's nothing like. I mean, they're unbelievable up there. They love baseball. They got the Connie Mack World Series. All those kids play year round, type of a deal. And yeah, I mean, they got great baseball, and the kids know how to play, and that's important because yeah, you could have talent, but if you don't understand or think the game, a lot of times that could bite you a little bit. And their kids know the game. They know how to play, and they do it well.
Well, ProView's done Connie Mack for the last, I think, 4 or 5 years. And the town baseball's the talk of the town. I mean, and they have, Richfield. I mean, they have the facilities. They have, everything that you would if you're a baseball type player.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they got great facilities. And, I was fortunate to coach in the Connie Mack for 3 years when my son played back in, back in the day. And I helped coach for Four Corners. And we were in that every year. What an atmosphere, the parades and the way that they host players. And I mean, it's just phenomenal. And I think it carries down to their high schools. They grow up seeing that and wanting to play in that and being around baseball and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, the success of that helps with having a big event like that as well.
Well, I'm thoroughly impressed with it. I mean, if you think of it historically, with Richard Neely and myself, we actually got it on CBS the last 2 years. I mean, so that was a great for the state, but also great for Farmington and
great for me. I got to watch it.
Oh, you got to watch it? You got to
on CBS. I watched it actually, so that was pretty neat.
So and we're going to do it again this year. I mean, it's something now that the state sees value in what, people just don't realize that. I think it's the number 3 or number 4 sports event, or event in the state. And over 100-something thousand people come to Farmington just to watch those games, and it's gotten to be now with CBS, it's become now a national tournament, one of the bigger tournaments.
Absolutely. And I have a couple kids that play in that. I mean, Del Angel played in it last year with the Dolan Dodgers, who won it. He DH'd for him because he had a little thing with his elbow. He didn't play the field, but he DH'd, made the all conference team or whatever as a DH. But yeah, so I've had players get to experience that as well, and they love it and they talk about it. It's just a huge event. Absolutely.
Well, we're going to take a break. We're going to go to the Evergard Roofing and Solar top 10 plays of the week and come back and talk more about Cleveland baseball.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Pipkin. Ball in now. Great dish inside. The big-to-big connection.
That was one of the best passes of the game already, and it came.
Spins that for Nathan Gonzalez, and then it's picked out by McCoy to Stiff to the buckets.
All these players, they know how to shoot the three.
As Sosi, bank shot. Top glass goes Allison Sosi.
43.
Vega's playing with fire with that fourth personal foul.
Another steal. There's Vega 2-on-1. Dishes it to Campbell, lays it up, puts it in, scores in his foul.
And if Coach Woody's like...
Trayvon Bonds. Bonds hands off to Holland. Holland wants it from way downtown. He's got it!
Exactly what you don't want to see on the Logan side.
Is their leader. inside to Nunez. Back outside to Sanchez. Fires a deep three. Boom! On Nico Sanchez.
Remy lost his footing. And Houston Brown comes away with it.
Watch out,
ahead of the pack. Lon slam! Dunk! One-hand highlight reel! Martinez. Almost a shuffle down there. Turnaround off the windows. Good! And that'll give the Rams the lead heading into the locker room.
No, Romero the rebound. Another three-pointer, no. Gallegos gets the rebound. He's going to get a three off. It's good! At the buzzer! Nine seconds left. Let's see what they drew up. It was a pretty quick timeout that they took. Oh, and Mesa Vista nearly traveled. A deep three.
Oh,
yes! And the clock hit it.
Raising Cane's.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We've got Shane Shallenberger, head baseball coach at Cleveland High School, and 18-0, and that's a remarkable record right there.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. That's for sure.
No, I and you said, beginning of the year. I mean, you knew you were going to be good, but you didn't realize you were going to be good. Now, my question to you is: there pressure of being 18-0? I mean, do you feel that, or is it just something that you developed and it's just game by game, and people don't even think about being 18-0?
Well, I mean, obviously, the kids know our players, but we don't harp on it. I mean, we have our goals throughout the season, and we want to be at a certain point by the time we get to district, and then you get to district and you want to try to win that and then get a good seed for the playoffs and hopefully make a run and so forth like that. But we don't really harp on it. We kind of just talk about the daily things every day and what we need to do to continuously get better. I think the hardest part is just keeping the motivation, keeping the intensity up, and keeping all the guys on the same page. And I think it's kind of what we've been talking about. So not really about X's and O's, getting our reps in and trying to stay the course and remember what got us to where we're at this exact moment. And that's kind of the message we talk about.
Well, you're using your old John Wooden type scenario on this. Is basically just take care of yourself and take care of business and good things are going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Control the controllables, and we've had a lot of attention. I mean, we've had kids in our that aren't athletes in our school that are now recognizing what we're doing and certain things. So there's a lot of distractions, and we have to stay the course, and we got to stay true to who we are. So that's kind of the message.
Well, something I just found out, Aaron just showed me a stat. You won 4 tournaments this year. I mean, talk about that. I mean, I didn't even know if you even realized that you won 4. The season goes by so fast.
Well, we play 5 straight tournaments usually before pre-district, is kind of our pre-district, and the first 3 are kind of round robin tournaments. So, there's not really a winner or loser in those round robin tournaments. One of them's our own. We just want to get 3 games in a weekend and learn how to compete in a tournament format and see what kind of pitching depth you have. But the main ones are obviously the Metro tournament and the Sal Puentes Rio Rancho tournament we won, and those are big tournaments and very tough to win. Matter of fact, the Metro, I think we've only won it one time. We've won it one time in 2019, so that was our second time winning it. Very, very difficult tournament to win, and the Sal Puentes was just top-notch teams this year with La Cueva and Carlsbad and us and Rio Rancho, and then you got four of the top 4A schools that were in as well. It was just a really good tournament. So I mean, that's our goal, to win those tournaments. But at the end of the day, it's we were playing some good baseball at that time, so it was nice.
Well, the goal is always to win it. Winning is an accomplishment. I mean, you go into those tournaments, and I think the biggest thing now, and I'm asking this question, I'm just thinking out loud, is now does your team have a little bit of a swagger? They know they're good, and I mean they're not cocky and arrogant. They know that if they just go do what they do, it's going to be hard. Instead of wishing they were going to be there.
Well, I'll be honest with you. No, they're not cocky, and they don't have, they're the same kids. But what I've seen, it's, and I'll be honest, I've never been 18-0 before. As a coach, you lose some early on, and that's what molds your team and keeps them going and stuff. So, it's different when you are undefeated, how to keep that, like you're kind of talking the motivation, but what I've seen is we're starting to let little things, we're not doing the little things that got us to the point. And team-oriented little things. And I won't go into great detail, but that's kind of the message we've talked about. I didn't feel like we played real well last week. And I'm not taking nothing away from the teams that we played. They played outstanding, but it wasn't really the score wise. It was our mentality wise and our energy and the way we went about our business. I wasn't exactly happy with our 2 games last week. We were on spring break. I felt like we were sleepwalking, and I just didn't like it. So we had a meeting yesterday, and the meeting itself was basically, we got to get back to the little things that got us to the point we're at right now. And we had a great practice. So we'll see what happens today. But that's the difference between trying to rise to the top or when you're on top, from what I'm seeing at this perspective right now.
Well, no, that was my big concern. You win, and winning's contagious, losing's contagious. But what and people in the coaching know, it's hard to win every day. I mean, it's a grind. Your expectations are on you to win because of your previous record, and you said it earlier. There's some good baseball teams in this state, and on any given night, and use La Cueva last year. I mean, I'm just saying they were supposed to win the whole thing. Everything's going their way, and all of a sudden teams got hot, and the ball bounced just the wrong way, and all of a sudden they're watching the teams play for the Blue Trophy on Saturday night.
Yeah, absolutely. That could definitely happen. There's so many good teams in this state. There's it doesn't matter, from the south to the north. And I preach it to my guys. We never take anybody lightly. It doesn't matter who we're playing, because and it can bite you. I mean, they're all high school kids. They all put their pants on the same way. And so they want to win as bad as you want to win. And if the ball bounces right, you just never know. So, but yeah, great teams. And it's going to be a battle. We just hope to get, our goals to hopefully do well in district, obviously, but get a good seed for the playoffs. And if we can get a decent seed, maybe we can make a run back at that point in time.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to take another break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about a lot of the teams across the state, and tell me, because it's funny, basketball season just got over, and that was like I'm having a hangover from that. But and I'm just getting into baseball this week. This is the first week, and I know that. Hey, Steve, at least I'm getting into it anyway, Shane. So anyway, we'll come back. We're going to take a break and come back.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe cane sauce that makes everything that much better. So go on. Savor the day.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Every given night, though, anything can happen, and especially, fortunately, a big game today. I mean, a big game today, just to really just set, whoever wins this game, correct me if I'm wrong, will be the district leader in going into the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, us, Rio Rancho, and Piedra Vista right now are all 2-0. So Rio, I'm drawing a blank on who they're playing today as well, but yeah, I got definitely a chance to obviously be a little bit in the somewhat driver's seat. We got a big game on Thursday with Volcano, and another big game next week with Rio Rancho, and that'll be the first part of our district. So by next Tuesday, we'll be done halfway through district, and somebody will be leading at that time for sure.
Yeah, and Volcano, they played you well. Just a week ago, I think. A week ago, right?
It was in the Metro tournament. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, they played you well, and so you have 1, 2, and 3, but you also have Volcano Vista. So I mean, those are four teams in the top 10. Is that correct?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the latest rankings, to be honest with you, but I mean, you still got Cibola. I mean, Cibola beat La Cueva the week before the Sal Puentes tournament, or the week week before, I believe. Anyways, I mean, they got a couple quality wins, and I mean, it's tough. This district's just tough. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you in this district, that's for sure.
Well, it gets me excited. Like I said, I this time of year, over the next 4 or 5 weeks, it just seems like baseball is there's no more basketball. There's not, for me, UNM's not playing, and March Madness is over and stuff like that, and all of a sudden that weather starts changing, and it gets to be nice, and you get to go out and just enjoy yourself. The facilities, basically all the facilities that you have in your district are nice facilities.
Yeah, there's nowhere you go that doesn't have a good field, for sure. Everybody takes really good care of them, and it doesn't matter if we're on the road or at home. We're going to play on a decent field for sure.
Well, let's talk a little bit about across the state. Okay, we know your district's 1, 2, 3, but talk a little bit like on the other teams that or teams that you really have a concern or you're kind of watching, because right now you're only concentrating on your district games, but you're kind of, I know how every Saturday you go back in and you look and see what other teams are doing across the state. So who do you have your eye on across the state?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, La Cueva's a great team, and so we always have to keep our eye on them and try to see how they're doing. I mean, they got unbelievable pitching on that team, so they're always very tough. And then the other team that we haven't gotten a chance to scout or see yet, hopefully we'll see, but is Centennial down there in Las Cruces. They're undefeated. I think they're 14-0 as well, or something to that effect. But they're also undefeated, and they've been putting up a lot of runs and playing some good baseball. So we got to keep our eye on them, and obviously some of those other Cruces schools as well. We've gotten to see Carlsbad and Hobbs and Clovis in that district quite a bit, but we need to keep our eye down in the south there with Centennial and Cruces High and Oregon Mountain and those guys. So Mayfield too. Mayfield just swept Cruces this past Friday. So anyway, they got their own battles going on down there, and we need to keep an eye and see how they're doing as well. But over here on this side, you got Las Cruces and El Dorado over here that we. Those are two teams that have been playing pretty well too. So yeah, I mean, we look at everybody. We don't underestimate anybody. So we try to get our eyes on everybody we possibly can, to be honest.
And last year was kind of a wake up call. It's the team that one is healthy going into the last week. I mean, I think that's a big thing. As long as your pitching staff doesn't come down with injuries, or key players come down with injuries, but it's momentum. I mean, talk about the momentum. Baseball is a momentum. It's a momentum sport.
Absolutely, it is. That's kind of when we talked a little bit earlier. What we preach is kind of that energy, because if you're in a lull or you're not feeling so great one day, your game might suffer a little bit as an individual. It brings the team down. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, momentum's awesome going, and that's where I was talking about. Maybe if we can finish good in district and get a good seed, get that momentum going into that playoffs to make that final push. Huge. Momentum's just huge, and that happened, like you stated earlier. It happened last year with a couple teams. They got good momentum going into the playoffs and won that quarterfinal game, and some of us, including ourselves, went home that weekend. So.
No, and the thing about it, it's the intensity of the crowds. I mean, when you get to you get into that. I mean, you have to go to the games to really understand it. I mean, I thoroughly enjoy it. I like everybody to win. So it's not, I don't have favorite teams or anything like that, but I like to see the momentum change. I just love to watch, and it doesn't matter who it is. I just like to see a team that's maybe down, 5-2, and all of a sudden they make a run, and then that carries on to their defense, and they make plays that, and they upset it. I probably, be truthfully, I like the underdog. I just like to see the underdog in those games.
Yeah, I mean, the crowds can play a huge factor in that for sure. I mean, I remember in 2024, our kids that were around at that time, or the kids that come back that are playing in college, still talk about how the crowd was in that La Cueva Cleveland game back in 24 there.
I was there. I remember that.
Man, it was intense. It was fun. And win or lose, as a coach, we obviously lost that game in the last inning there, but it was a fun game to be a part of. And, that's what this year with the Sal Puentes tournament, there was some good crowds there. And it felt like it was a great environment. And I think it did give us some momentum at times with our kids. I really do. And so, yeah, I think crowds, the momentums, big plays change games for sure.
Well, Shane, our time has ran out. I just want to, thanks for coming on a big day. And hopefully you and I will be talking here in another month. A little pressure on you. Put more pressure on that 18-0 record. So.
I thank you for having me, Steve. It's been a pleasure.
All right.
We'll see where the rest of the season takes us.
All right. Sounds good. And I appreciate you.
Thank you.